Hello there.
Hi, is this Marty? It has to be.
It ain't Brad Pitt.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am very excited to welcome our next guest to the show. He is the legendary comic and actor Marty Allen from Allen and Rossi. Welcome to Cult Radio Live. You're on the air with Terry and Tiffany.
Well, what a great introduction. I should come out and start doing part of my act.
There you go. Well, we gotta love somebody that doesn't ever comb his hair. I imagine you still have that great hairdo, right, Marty?
I still have my hair. I still have it.
You know,
and the funny bit is I was on an elevator and a woman saw me and she says, "Oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I saw you on Hollywood Squares. I watched you on Big Valley. I saw you on the Ed Sullivan Show. I saw you on Johnny Carson. I can't remember your name."
Oh my
and
God.
I said, Brad Pitt. She said, "No, that's not the name." But that was very funny, and I got a big kick out of that.
Well, you know, I appreciate your hair, Marty, because the other host here is my daughter, and she always yells at me. She yells at me because I don't comb my hair, and I say, well, if it's good enough for Marty Allen, it's good enough for me. You know, I mean, why bother combing your hair?
It's amazing, because I always remember one of the funny things. I started at the beginning I had the afro, and I remember when I did the show with the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show when they arrived in America, and they kept looking at me and it was hysterical. And I walked over to John Lennon, who was playing his guitar, getting ready, and I said, "John?" And he said, "Yes." I said, "A lot of people mistake me for you." And he looked at me like, "Oh my God." I never forgot that.
You know, it's crazy.
I got a big kick out of that. But the first time when I was working with Nat King Cole, and I was sitting at a bar in his dressing room, these people from England who were friends of his came in, and they said, "Nat, your show is absolutely brilliant. You are unbelievable. And by the way," and they pointed to me, they said, the comedian, he's really funny. He really is funny." And Nat said, "Yes." He says, "A lot of people ask me where I found him." He says, "I was in the Fiji Islands, and the chief gave him to me as a gift."
Wow. Well, I'll tell you, that hairdo of the Beatles kind of caught on, and it's too bad not everybody has a Marty Allen hairdo now.
Yeah. Well, then they came in with their hairstyle, but I maintained it for all these years, and I still have it.
Well, I know recently you were inducted into the Las Vegas Hall of Fame, and deservedly so. What was it like for you to be inducted?
Well, it was very nice. It's a wonderful tribute to have other entertainers who react to your talent, and I was very humbly impressed. And then I got another award a month later, the Louis Primo Award, and his daughter presented me with the award for being an outstanding entertainer, and it was very, very nice.
Wow.
And I love entertaining. I love people. I love doing shows, and that's what it's all about.
Wow. So,
and I enjoy doing it.
How long have you been in entertainment, Marty?
Well, let's see. I remember my first birthday card was from Abraham Lincoln, and I didn't know he did those things. No, all the years that I've done it, I just enjoy and working with now with my wife Karen Blackwell. It's really a whole different thing, and we have a marvelous act. It's clean, it's funny. She's a fabulous singer. She's a fabulous piano player, and we have routines, and we're still working.
Fantastic.
And here I am, Marty Allen, earning laughs at age 91.
And of course, it's got to be much different because back in the day, you had a guy for a partner. Now it's kind of different actually sleeping with your other partner on stage, right?
Oh, no, I never slept with Steve Rossi.
No. I would hope not.
No. We were friendly, but not that friendly. No, Steve was an excellent. He was we were brought together by Nat King Cole, and Steve was an excellent straight man. He was a fantastic singer, and we got along. When we split very amicably. After we had gone around and done every club and every casino, we had hit a point, and then people I was getting calls. They wanted me to do more acting and getting involved. I became a semi-regular on Hollywood Squares, and I did Big Valley with Barbara Stanwyck, and I did movies, about 10 different movies. So it was a whole different thing. Right. And I enjoyed my period of with Steve Rossi, and then going on to a whole different bag. It's been very, very good, and I've enjoyed it.
Well, I know before you went off on your own, you actually got to do a movie with Steve, and that was the last of the Secret Agents.
Yeah, we did Secret Agents, and then we did a couple other things, and we had hit a point, and I think we're the only team actually that ever parted very amicably. He lives in Las Vegas, and we talk now and then, and we're very good friends.
Well, that's great.
But to go from one act, and then I went as a single, and I was involved in movies and television, and then I met Karen, and then we teamed up, and eventually not only as a team, but we got married. We're together now 29 years.
Okay,
and
I've got to know, Marty. Here you are. You're 91 years old, still going strong, happily married, 29 years. How do you do it?
That's what everybody wants to know.
It's a secret.
Yeah, I keep asking her, how do we do it? No, we know we do the show, and then we get off the show, and we don't discuss what we did on or off, and we go into another phase of our life.
Right.
And we've just been very fortunate, and we both enjoy what we're doing. And Karen is right now has 2 songs on the YouTube that is actually, she did the Jimmy Webb song, By the Time I Go to Phoenix, and it's a fantastic song, and she did a phenomenal job of acting. It's on the YouTube, and the other one is I pray about praying, and it's also very, very, very good.
Well, she definitely is a great singer. How did you guys meet?
Well, we met. I walked in. Karen was working by herself as a singer, piano player, and she didn't like being on the road alone. And so she came home. She was writing songs, and writing music, and a friend of hers owned a fabulous restaurant in Los Angeles, and he asked her to become the manager, and she says, I don't know anything about that. He said, no, it'd be very easy, and he says, you're more or less like a hostess kind of thing, but she took it over, and then so she could work at night at home writing. And I came into the restaurant, and I took one look at her, and she said, oh, Mr. Allen, what can we do for you? And I looked at her, and I said, well, I'd like a fruit salad. And she went in, she says, I'll take care of it. She went in and told the chef to make me a special. And when I came out, I'd written on the menu, I think I'd rather have you instead of the fruit salad. I said something really goofy, and I like the way you walk in that dress. Next thing I know, I asked her, we started talking, and she told me she was a singer and she wrote songs. And then I said, well, would you like to have dinner? And I went over her house, and I saw the piano, and I said, you play? She sat down and then sang and played the piano. I said, oh, my God. I said, I got to take you on the road. And I took her on the road, and she scored heavily. And then we worked out a deal where she would be the opening act, and then I would come out, and then we would do a routine together, and it developed into a powerhouse act, and everything has been good.
Fantastic.
And it's a clean act, it's funny, and we just did 3 nights here in Las Vegas, and we do casinos, and we've been everywhere.
Wow.
And we're doing cruise ships. We've done everything, and we really enjoy, all the things we did. And we had an idea to do something a little different. And she's a ventriloquist, and I play her dummy. And then we did a routine where she introduces Shirley MacLaine, and I come out in a wig and a dress, and we sing Hey Big Spender, and everything is hysterically funny.
Wow. And
we enjoy doing it.
Well, I saw some of your act on YouTube. It was from a 2010 show, and she definitely can play the piano and sing, and I think she's a perfect partner for you, Marty. After all these years, you've got another partner again.
Yeah, but it's a different thing, and we enjoy, doing it together, and we keep coming up with ideas, and we keep the act fresh, we keep it clean, and we keep it funny. And we enjoy it. We just enjoy what we're doing.
Let me tell you what's important about what you do, because when I go to Vegas,
go ahead.
When I go to Vegas, I want to see old Vegas, and you don't see old Vegas anymore. And you are one that's left that's bringing back old Vegas the way it was back in the old days. And there's not enough people like you. I want more old Vegas, and you guys provide that for people.
That's a great compliment. I appreciate it. And you're right about that. I see some of the acts today. I don't even know what they're doing, but I have a great like if they say, "Well, who do you go to see?" I enjoy seeing Shecky Green or Don Rickles.
Yes.
Yeah. Because this is old Vegas.
Yeah.
And there are some very talented young comedians coming up. But like you say, I want to see old Vegas.
Well, I just have to...
That's a great compliment.
I just have to say that I'm disappointed that you're not doing door-to-door dance sales anymore, because...
Oh, that was funny. You remind me.
For our audience that doesn't know, you actually did...
When I first went to Hollywood, and I had to make extra money, I'm saying, look, I won all kinds of dance contests. I was like a jitterbug champion in my in Pittsburgh, my hometown. So I said, what could I do to make extra money? So I got the idea of getting a phonograph machine and records, and I'd knock at the door like the Fuller Brush Band in a very, very high-class neighborhood. And at that time, the woman would open the door, and I said, I'm a dance salesman. Would you be interested in taking tango, rumba, samba, ballroom? And in due time, I had over 20 customers. And it was hysterical, and I am the first and only door-to-door dance salesman. And that's how it happened.
Well, you know, there's so many people that don't respect talent enough. We've had a few in our lifetime, like Jimmy Stewart was an American war hero. You received a medal because you were a sergeant in the Army, and you kind of rushed to the rescue during a fire on a plane, right?
Well, what happened was, I started out when I went in, and I was entertaining in the entertainment, and there was a particular lieutenant. His name was Lieutenant John Tolan, and he was in charge of entertainment. And he said, "You're a comedian, yeah?" And he said, "What do you do?" And I told him, and he says, "All right, we'll put some shows together." And this was in basic training, St. Petersburg, and I did great. We had great shows and entertained the other guys, and it was very good. And then next thing I know, I was out of that, and I was into the Air Force, into the B-24s, the heavy bomb group, and I went to Italy, and I was on guard duty and helping refueling airplanes, and the plane was loaded with bombs, and they're getting ready for the next morning. And at that time, they had the gasoline truck had 4,000 gallons of gasoline.
Wow.
And how they put the gasoline in the plane, two guys were on the wings refueling, and there was an engine that you turned the engine on, and it sent the gasoline up and the engine caught on fire. Well, the two guys jumped off the wings, and everybody took off, and I got in the gasoline truck and pulled it away from the plane, and then went back, and the cover on the nose turret of the plane caught on fire, and I got that out, and then I went into the plane where the bombs were, made sure that nothing happened, and made sure there were no sparks, throwing myself with my jacket, to make sure. And then I came out, and they came with the hose with the snow, and I come out of the airplane. They almost fell over. And they investigated and saw what I had done, and I received a soldier medal for bravery.
And I understand kind of you giving to the military didn't stop there.
Boy, did I get it from my mother.
Oh.
She says, I didn't send you to do that. Oh, did she holler at me.
But your giving back to the military, Marty, didn't stop there, because I understand in 1968 you actually did a Hello Dare tour of military hospitals, correct?
Yes, I did. I was written into the Congressional Record in New York for my tour. I didn't want anybody to. For a while, I did something where the guy sponsored me, but then after he didn't sponsor me anymore, I went on my own, paid my own way, and did a tour of the hospitals. Excuse me. And I didn't do shows. I went bed to bed.
Wow.
And I would walk over, and everybody, all the guys, they knew me. They'd look up from their bed, they say, "Oh my God, Marty Allen," and I'd tell them jokes, and then I'd go on and on. It was very emotional.
Yeah.
I don't know how I ever did it.
Wow.
All I know is I just went bed to bed, and at the end of the day, I felt I had done something that was very important to make those guys feel better. And to be honest with you, and I'll tell it to you, I just stood off in the corner and silently cried with emotion at what I had done and what I felt had to be done. And I've always felt it is so important for some of these entertainers to go to the hospitals and entertain, because it's not easy for those guys.
No.
And I received, all kind of letters. I remember when you came to my bed. Oh, I get very emotional with that. But that was important that I do that.
And there's not enough of that anymore. I mean, back in the old days, you used to hear about Bob Hope and USO shows, and they don't do that too much anymore.
Bob Hope was that kind of a guy. He went and did the shows, and I felt that it was important when they came back, and they're in the hospital, and nobody comes around. I said, and they knew who I was because they knew me from all the television shows. That it was important for me to come up and say hello there and do some jokes and make a guy feel good.
Right.
And that was important to me.
Well, it's so important that you started the interview by saying hello, Dere, because that is your catchphrase. How did you come up with that?
Well, one night Steve and I were in a show in Philadelphia at the Latin Casino, and he asked me a question, and I kind of blanked out. And I looked at him, and I said, "Hello there." And he looked at me like, what is that? And he asked me again. I said, "Hello there," because I was trying to think what the punchline was. And all of a sudden, I noticed laughter. And when the show was over, people started walking over to me and said, "Hello there. Hello there." And I said, "Oh, my God. I found a catchphrase like Joe Penner, you want to buy a duck, or I'm a bad boy with Abbott and Costello."
Right.
And so we put it in the act, and we started imitating different people. I'd say, "Here's so and so," and I'd say, "Hello there," and then he'd ask me a question, and we'd do a punchline, and it caught fire. And you wait all of your life to find some kind of a catchphrase, and there it was. And we got very lucky with that.
Well,
and on my I got to tell you, on my 91st birthday, there's a theater called the Throckmorton Theater in Mill Valley, above San Francisco, and they asked me to come up for my birthday and Karen and I to do the show. And the night before, they said, "We're having a little birthday dinner, and two of your friends who saw your show before are coming to see you." So we invited them to the dinner. I said, "Two of my friends? Who?" And who walks in, and I almost fell out. Morse Saul and Robin Williams.
Wow.
Wow.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I can imagine.
We had a lovely dinner.
Wow.
And just sitting there, I was like a groupie looking at both of them and saying, I wish I could tell them in my heart how I feel about both of them, who are two great talents. And the fact that they came, that knocked me out.
Well,
and it really hit me.
I'm sure to them, you probably influenced their careers, because you're one of the originators, and to have people that's gotten so famous now, like Robin Williams and Steve Martin and everything, I'm sure you were a very big influence in their life.
Yeah, I know. Well, you said it. Yeah, when I think of all the people who work with Nat King Cole, who brought Steve and I together, I think of Tony Bennett, Sinatra, Joe Stafford, Patty. You know, all the at that time, the comedians, the singers were the big deal, and they would put the comedians on to open the show, like to do 20 or 25 minutes. Mm-hmm. And that's how I started working with all these great talents, super talents, and that's part of my, you know, when I think back, I said, oh my God, how lucky I was to have that kind of a background that I would be working with some of the greatest stars in the country. Mm-hmm. And I look back on that with a great deal of pleasure.
Well, that kind of brings up a question, Marty. Let me ask you. I mean, in classic comedy duos, there's always the straight man and then there's the funny guy. I mean, you know, there's that with Martin and Lewis and you know, Bud and Abbott. And did you ever have any problem with being kind of the funny guy to Rossi? Did you ever think, oh, I want to be the straight guy that's the singer?
No, well, I don't think I would be the straight guy and the singer. Me with my afro and no, to be honest, I'll be very honest with both of you. I am just a natural funny guy. I don't know. I just open my mouth, hello there, and people start laughing, and you know, that's a great compliment and a great honor to have something like that happen to you. And I've been very fortunate in my relationship with people. And many a night, you know, they come over, hey, hello there, Marty, we enjoyed da-da-da-da. And that's what it is. That's my payoff. To have people come over and say, I had a great evening. You made me, you and Karen, her singing, and you made me laugh. And I've had people write me letters. Some of the letters in which I'm alone in the room. I'm an older person. I'm sitting here and I'm watching television and I'm laughing. And I want to thank you because you made me laugh, and it was important to my life. Oh my God, that knocks me out. Mm-hmm. That, you know, and I get very emotional. Of course, I'm an emotional guy. I cry at ball games.
Well, you know,
that's the truth. Was the moment they played the Star Spangled Banner. or I'm watching football on Sunday when they play the Star Spangled Banner. I stand up and salute.
Well, you know, Marty, I'm an emotional guy too, and it's so cool that you're still with us and performing because, like I said, I love the old days and the old people that are still here and old Vegas and old Hollywood. I thought the greatest tragedy in the world was when they took the telethon away from Jerry Lewis.
Oh, yeah. Well, nobody can be, you know, nobody knows why they do certain things. I thought he did a magnificent job. He did a really brilliant job. So nobody knows why those things happen, you know. And when you look back, you know, there's so much to look back. One of my dearest friends, and it was hysterical, was Elvis.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. I used to do things that. Well, I remember one night he was appearing in the Hilton, and I think there was 3,000 fans waiting to get in to see him. Mm-hmm. And I walk in the hotel, and there's a big picture of Elvis, and I see his two bodyguards standing, and I know they're spotting me. I walk over to Elvis's picture and start kissing his photo. Well, they come over and they handcuff me, and they took me in the dressing room, and Elvis says, "What's going on?" And they said, "Well, we caught this guy kissing your photo, and we thought we'd bring him up. What should we do with him?" And Elvis says, "Oh, handcuff him to the door." So I thought, they're kidding. They handcuffed me, and Elvis is going on stage, and I know he goes on stage, he'll be there for about 2.5 hours. And I'm saying, how did I get out of here? And I keep yelling, and a guard comes, and he says, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And he looks, he says, "Oh, my God, Marty Allen, what are you doing?" I says, "Oh, they did a joke, and they handcuffed me. Can you get me out of this?" And he went, and he had a key, and he took the cuffs off me, and I saw on the bed one of Elvis's scarves, and I put it on my head like a babushka. I ran all the way around. I ran into the theater, and I went down to right as close to the stage as I could get, and Elvis was singing, "Love me tender, love me." No, and as he walks by, I look up at him and I go, "I love you." He almost fell down. He got hysterical. And then I did a takeoff on him. I had an outfit made with one of his kind of jackets, and I got a wig like his, and I did an impression of him, and he came to see me. I was at the Flamingo, and we became very friendly.
Well, that's great.
And many a night he would mention me in the theater, and he invited me up to his suite when he had the parties, and he was just a wonderful, natural, nice guy. A really wonderful, natural guy.
Well, I know you must have had a lot of friendships with a lot of celebrities over the years. In today's life, I mean, the life that you lead today, I mean, who do you hang out with that we might know? I mean, do you hang out with Don Rickles and people like that?
Well, no, I go to see Rickles, and or I'll go to see, certain people. I've gone to see Tony Bennett, different people that I remember, like what you're saying, like old Las Vegas. Well, Tony Bennett, he goes on and on and on, and he still sings so terrific, and I just enjoy. But Karen and I have been, thank God, very fortunate. We keep busy and traveling, and now she has these 2 songs on YouTube, and she's always writing songs, and she wrote our wedding song called Wedding Vows.
Wow.
And in fact, she's doing a video on that, and it has become one of the biggest wedding songs in America.
Wow.
And, we enjoy what we're doing.
Well,
and like what you say, we enjoy playing.
Right. Do you have any shows coming up that we can look forward to seeing you and your wife, or are you booked for anywhere?
Well, we're going to we're doing we just finished doing 3 nights here in Las Vegas, and we'll be doing a casino in Arkansas, and I think we're doing one in Mississippi, and we never know. We were doing a lot of the cruise ships, but now we're doing more of the casinos.
Right.
Because there's more casinos coming up, But we stay busy.
Well, that's great.
And that's the one thing.
You know, I've got to ask you because, like, there's a movie, and I'm searching for it. I've seen it a long time ago, and that's The Last of the Secret Agents that I mentioned before. What was it like working with Nancy Sinatra?
Well, Nancy, she was adorable, and we had Lou Jacoby, and the cast was great, and I really enjoyed doing it. And then later on, when I was on my own, I did a movie in Malta with Connie Stevens and Patrick McNay.
Yeah.
And that was fun.
That was Mr. Jericho, right?
Yeah, that was a great movie, and whatever I'm involved in, I go with the attitude it's going to be fun, it's going to be good. It's I go to enjoy. I want the people to enjoy, and that's what it's all about.
Well, you know, my favorite thing.
When I go to see other comedians, I don't go to criticize.
No.
Right.
I don't go to sit there and say, well, I don't know if he's funny or not. I go to enjoy.
Right.
And that's been my attitude, and that's probably why I've had a great deal of success.
Well, I think the most unusual thing you got to do that I loved you doing so much was you got to play Edgar Allan Poe in Night Gallery.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember that too. But you know, when I look back, Elvis, Tony Bennett, Sinatra, I did the Hollywood Palace with Martha Ray, with Joan Crawford. These are people that, when I look back, I said, how lucky I've been to have that. And then I had, excuse me, then I had hip replacement surgery in November 2012. And 3 weeks later, I was back performing.
I believe
with
it.
Karen.
I believe it.
And when I came out of it, I said to the doctor, did I have a boy or a girl? Yeah. And then 3 weeks later, I'm working, and he couldn't believe it. Karen told him, she says, oh, no, we're doing this show. And she bought me a cane on television, and it looks like a weapon. But I don't use it. When I go out on the stage, I just go out and perform and do my dancing, and we do our routines. And they call us the new George Burns and Gracie Allen.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Only I'm Gracie Allen.
Well, I must tell you, I saw you come out on a stage in a YouTube video. You walk better than me. So I'm only 58, and wow,
that's a great line.
You could kick my butt. I've got to ask you. I'm trying to find a few things of yours, and some other listeners want to know about this too. You did something called Allen and Rossi Meet Dracula and Frankenstein. It was part of a Monster Squad TV show. What was that?
What was that? Allen and Rossi what?
Meet Dracula and Frankenstein.
Well, I don't know. We did a lot of those goofy little shows. In fact, we did a book also, Allen and Rossi. But I'm trying to think what it was about.
You know, I don't remember what I did yesterday, Marty. So you're doing good in everything you are remembering.
Yeah. I'm pretty lucky. I remember. Exactly.
Let me ask you this. Now, it's a whole different world because we have CDs now, and we have downloads and everything.
I love that. Hey, you want to be my writer? You're funny.
Thank you. I don't think I could keep up with you. I really could. But what do you think about the fact that we don't have comedy albums anymore? Because you guys did such great comedy albums.
Yeah, the albums. We had great Allen and Rossi, Meet the Great Society, Allen and Rossi, Hello There. Yeah, we had a gang of them. There's no more anything like that.
Right.
But if they want to see, they come to see the show and they see the kind of humor and kind of comedy that isn't around anymore. and that's important.
Well,
Then when they walk out, and usually we right after the show, we go out and parents sell their CD, and we give the money to Child Haven, which is an organization for battered and abused children, and people walk over. Oh, we had a great evening. Oh, what a great show. Oh, we don't see comedy like this.
That's right.
Those are the answers,
right.
and that's what's great.
And you know, there's two people in showbiz that have great hair, and that's you and Rip Taylor.
Me and Rip Taylor. Oh, that's funny.
All right. Well, we encourage. I just want to find out really quick. I know that you guys are doing. You and Karen are doing your show and all that stuff. Now, if listeners want to find out where you guys are going to be playing and upcoming dates and everything, I'm assuming that you or Karen puts all of that up on your website at martyallenhellodere.com.
Yeah. Karen has the website. She does all that jazz, and it'll be up where we're going to be appearing, and she has the 2 songs on YouTube, and she did that Jimmy Webb song. By the time I get to Phoenix, it's a blockbuster, and if you go on the YouTube, and the other one is I Pray Before. There are 2 classics. So if you get on YouTube, you can see both of her songs and what she did acting-wise. They're brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
You know, we'll have to get back a hold of you because we got to have your wife on sometime.
Yeah, anytime.
Fantastic.
You just tell me when, I'll put her on.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, Marty, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. It is such an honor and a privilege to talk to
Well,
you.
thank you. I really appreciate it. You 2 are very good interviews.
Well, thank
But
you.
I want to use him as a writer.
I'll tell you what, Marty, the next time I'm out in Vegas, I'll just drop him off at your house.
Okay.
Okay.
I would have.
accept it.
I would have to
Thanks
be.
for calling. I appreciate
Sure.
it.
I would have to be a writer because I know you've already got a partner, and I couldn't be your partner anyway because I'm not as good looking as Rossi was. So.
Well, you can be my writer.
There you go. All right. Well, we encourage our listeners to check out Marty's website at martyallenhellodere.com. And Marty, it's been such a pleasure. I'll be in touch so we can have Karen on, and thank you for being on the show tonight.
Anytime, just call and I'll set her up for you.
All right.
Well, you know something? I think you know this. We love you so much, and you are such an American legend, and I'm just so thankful to be able to talk to you. I feel so good to know that one of my dreams has been fulfilled because you have given me so much entertainment. Now you're giving me entertainment with your wife. And I just want to thank you for everybody that you've entertained throughout the years, not only citizens but military alike, because you are so important and so endearing to people. And Marty, you're fantastic.
Thank you very much. I got to get out before I start to cry.
Okay.
All right. Well, have a great Thanksgiving and have
Thank you.
a wonderful
Same
weekend.
to you.
All right.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Good night, Marty.
Right. Good night. Bye-bye.